The ICF Canoe Sprint World Championships are brought to you by the Province of Ontario, the Government of Canada, and Tourism Niagara.
Two is the Japanese entry, Yuku Kondo. In lane 3 is USA's Ian Ross with Diego Romero from Spain. Mexico's Jose Cortez in lane 5, and Uzbekistan's Mirzyosin Kimogiev. In lane 7, the Russian Ilya Pervukin.
So what's unique about the starting system we see here, it's not only the boots, but the clear boots. So you can actually see the nose of the boat. It lets the starter know that an athlete is all the way in the boot and not maybe a foot behind the actual start line, hoping that he can actually get a bit of a running start by taking maybe a little half stroke behind that no one can see, and it lets him kind of coast through as the gate goes down. Hard to time. If you can do it though, it gives you that little bit of an advantage on the start. The other thing you'll notice with canoes is that they tend to angle the boat away towards the side that their paddle is on. So if I'm paddling on the right side, I want my nose pointing to the right. That way my first few strokes I don't have to correct and bring the boat back. Remember, there's no rudder. All the steering is done with the paddle. Here on the line, we'll see them doing minuscule adjustments, making sure the boat's perfectly lined up, and that's what caught the Belarusian in lane 5 out in the last race. Great start, no one missed that at all. Lane 6 is flying.
And watch lane number 6, Tom, the Uzbekistan athlete Kimogiev, and the green boat, the Russian Ilya Pervukin. They're both going to take off the start, but again, it's who's got what for the fitness. Never count out Spain. Diego Romero knows how to paddle this thing. Spain's had a long storied history at the Olympics, most recent Olympics. Some great C1 paddlers have come out of Spain. And here's a nice shot. We've got a Spanish athlete, it looks like, pardon me.
Lane 6, I believe, the Uzbeki athlete, looking nice and strong here. Again, maybe he's 150 meters into the race now, so settling down, finding that rhythm. The transition in a canoe, which happens around the 150, is critical. If you can't smooth your boat out after a start and you're struggling with a bouncy boat and an inefficient rate, nothing's going to happen for the rest of the race. You'll expend far too much energy. By the time you get into the last 200, you're done. So the American athlete, he often comes to Florida to train with the Canadians.
Yeah, lane number 3, Ian Ross. Mac Hickox and company down in the States have done a great job. Mac used to paddle here for Mississauga Canoe Club, went to the Olympics for the United States, but he's got a good athlete here in Ian Ross who's doing quite well in this race.
Yeah, right now, it's very difficult to tell who's leading. I do know that Spanish athlete finished 3rd at the European Championships with a 3:57, so that's a solid time, and he should be able to get close to that in this weather. Remember, top spot goes directly to the A final, so this is a race, and it does look like the Spanish athlete is leading right now, about 400 meters into the race.
Yeah, the Spanish athlete's got the white boat, you'll see, Tom, and on the outside is the green boat. That's the one that I wanted you to key on earlier, Ilya Pervukin from Russia. He's got the green boat, and he's starting to make his move, but right now the white boat from Spain, Diego Romero in lane 4, is in the lead.
Yeah, the Russian's still coming on strong. This is a great shot here. You get a good view of the technique, just like this. You can see he's trying to reach out nice and far in front, bring it back to the hips. Through the 500 meters, we have Spain followed by a foot ahead of the Russian athlete in lane 7. Then it looks like lane 4 or 5, followed by 2, Ian Ross from the United States.
Well, there's a great ISO shot of the Russian, Tom, and the green boat right there in lane 7. But you can see on his inside, over his left shoulder, is Diego Romero from Spain.
Yeah, Diego's paddling very well right now. You can see the difference in technique here. The Russian tends to stay a little more forward, a little more in front. It's a great way to paddle if you can do it, but you have to be extremely powerful. Whereas the Spaniard, a little shorter, he sits up a little bit more, shorter strokes, faster strokes, but it seems to be working for him right now. There's an excellent shot. Watch the way his hip comes forward at the end of the stroke. That hip is what actually drives the boat forward. You're pulling the boat to the paddle with your hips. It's not paddle backwards. You're catching the water and ripping that boat forward with your hips and your knee.
And here's where the lactic acid starts building up and your fitness has to kick in. Who's got the most fitness in the tank right now at this stage?
That's what it's all about at this point. It's a war of attrition. They're through the last quarter. They're coming into the 200-meter mark here. Looks like the Russian has come on for a finish. Spanish athlete might be fading a little bit. It's going to be close this last 200. 3rd place, Ian Ross from the U.S. is crossing comfortably in 3rd. It's a great shot of the Spanish athlete. We'll see who's winning when we get a wider shot. We'll see who's got it. The green boat, the Russian in lane 7. or is it going to be Spain in lane 4?
And look at the stroke rates picking up here, Tom. The green boat by the Russian seems to have picked up to about a 74, 75 a minute. And the Spanish athlete, you can see he's picking it up as well. He's a little bit slower than the Russian right now, but here we go to the finish.
Yeah, it's going to come down to who's got a little bit left in the tank, who is most efficient. It looks like Spain has picked it up now. He's definitely picked it up. It looks like Spain by a half boat with 20 meters left. Full boat. And the Russian now realizes Spain has got it. He's reaching out, he's relaxing, he's come across the line comfortably in second. That means Spain goes directly to the A final. Watch the Spanish athlete now. Nice little fist pump, and he's going to fold over in a minute, I'm sure, to suck some wind. Great race. And there are final results. Final results of the C1 men's under 23 heat number 3. 358.1, solid time, nice race. About 2 seconds over the Russian, but it was much closer than that.